and welcome to the Scleroderma Foundation of California Special Edition. I'm Anna Strong, and I'm going to be introducing you to the two key players of this foundation, Andrew Emmett and the passionate Tina Berger. Between the two of them, they have over 26 years of dedication to helping others with scleroderma. So without further ado, let's welcome Tina Berger and Andrew Emmett.
Hi, Anna.
Hi. Hi, Tina.
Great to see you.
It's great to see you too.
We haven't seen you since our virtual event in 2020, and thank you for being a part of it. I can't believe how far we've come since then, and excited to be here today. So thank you for being a part of this.
Yeah, and we're on the crest of June, being at Scleroderma month. So there you go. I guess it was almost about 2 years ago then. So great. We have a lot of news, a lot of great things happening with the foundation. So let me before we start talking about what we're doing now, let me ask you, why don't we just start from the very beginning? Exactly how did the Scleroderma Foundation start 35 years ago?
So, like many organizations that form over the years, they usually begin with a small group of people that come together. They have a disease or a cause, and they join together. And so our foundation, not much different than that. It was founded by a woman named Josephine Batney, and this is about 1980. And her and Janie Benner, two people who both were diagnosed with scleroderma, found each other and started right out of her garage here in Inglewood, California. And it was actually run out of her home until 2000. So we're not too far from, a significant growth since 2000 of moving out of someone's home and actually getting an office and actually getting a paid employee. That first paid employee was Josephine. And she was hired to work in the office July 2005. And she just retired last year on the day of the pandemic, sort of closing down. We were having her retirement lunch. So she's still doing well. She still lives not too far from here. And but we owe a lot to our founders who, without them, joining together to create, a community for the people that are going to come next and forward and in the future.
Bettioni is how you pronounce it?
Tina, why don't you tell the story about how we thought we've been saying her name right, but wasn't until 20 years after knowing her.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I met Josephine in 1990 when I was working at UCLA, so I've known her for 32 years, and I always called her Josephine Battiani. She never corrected me until I started working for the foundation, and she corrected me. It's Josephine Batney. That's how you say it.
Batney.
Batney. Josephine
Okay.
Batney.
But it's not spelled that way, so it can be confusing.
And we lovingly referred to her as Wonder Woman, and she had a plaque on the desk that used to say that. Wonder Woman.
I have a thing for Wonder Woman too. And Janie Benner. These were the two founders in a garage starting this foundation 34 years ago.
Basically, that's how it started.
That's amazing.
We've been in this office now, going on our 5th year. So, we were started in that garage, and we're up to 3 employees, which is still a small size foundation. Mm-hmm. But if you look at around the country at the other scleroderma chapters and foundations and organizations, they're small chapters, small staffed. This is a disease that, is in desperate need of more awareness, more research, so that we can find a cure and hopefully never have to have a job trying to.
Right, there you go. Yeah, we don't.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put us out of business.
There you go.
And
that's the goal.
That is the goal, and that's always the end goal. So, but we over the years we've had a few more staff and a few less right now, and we'll probably talk about that as we go into the past few years and our future ahead.
Yeah, with everything that you have achieved through the foundation, I mean, very, very effectively serving the scleroderma community for so long. Can you tell us why you separated from the National Scleroderma Foundation?
Yeah, the national organization implemented a strategic plan about 2 years ago during COVID, and while we are all for listening to the plan and being a part of the plan, the organization and the chapters, there were several that were independent organizations. So California, while we were a chapter of the national organization, we were also an independent 501c3. So we could sometimes, while we followed the initiatives and the priorities and most of uh, the same sort of things that national was doing, we were doing in our communities. And to most people, they may not know that because most people just think of us all one big group. But chapters are run separately than independent organizations. And so National made the decision, and their board voted to go forward and ask the independent organizations to be a part of their national organization. And part of that was that, our boards here, which have for the past 25 years or so, had responsibility of overseeing the foundation, financial oversight, fiduciary responsibilities. Under the new structure, they would be an advisory board, and they just couldn't get to the point where we could feel comfortable. We made the decision that we could best serve our communities as an independent organization, working with partners. So we are still affiliated with the other two chapters that decided not to join the national organization, and that's the Greater Chicago. The Greater Chicago area, and then Washington, D.C. So us three will continue, and we were founding members of the original Scleroderma Foundation. So we will continue to be partners. We continue to be partners with the national organization in this fight against scleroderma, but we will no longer be an affiliate chapter of the national organization. So I think some of our questions will come in and we'll explain how that is going to have an effect on our community and some of the good stuff. And we're going to talk about it all. So, it's hard to break up with somebody after 25 years. So there are going to be some bumps, and I want to be upfront. But I know we have a great community here in California, and we are going to work hard to make this a great organization serving communities that currently don't get the support that they need. And Tina's going to talk a little bit about that, I think, as well too. So we're really excited. It was a decision the board made. I agreed with the decision. We have lots of opportunities moving forward, and you're going to see, better stuff, more opportunities for our support groups and our training for our support group leaders. And hopefully we're going to build awareness here in California and then beyond.
Yes.
So you're being joined by Chicago and Washington D.C. Didn't you also go under an international scleroderma?
Yeah. So along the same sort of time with it, we were discussing and negotiating with Nashville. I think when it got to the point we knew we were going to have to look at a plan B if plan A didn't work out. We reached out to we looked at other organizations, and we looked at where we might have a fit. And there's an organization. It is called Friends of the World Scleroderma Foundation here in North America, out of Boston. And they are an affiliate partner of the World Scleroderma Foundation. And our missions are very similar: funding research, and also patient services and education. So making sure that patients and all those that need support are supported, and then the research part. Now, the reasons this, was something that we wanted to explore more was if we are no longer with National, we are not part of the national research program. We lose some of the benefits of the national organization. So one of the things that was so attractive about looking into a partnership with the Friends of the World Scleroderma Foundation was that they work with the doctors directly in different specialties, and the specialties that we need to be talking to so that scleroderma can be understood and the doctors can diagnose it early. One of the things we see is that there's a long journey, and most of it is misdiagnose. So we're really excited about the education part to the medical professionals, because we feel that's something that is lacking in the overall journey of ending scleroderma. And so that was an attractive option for us to consider. We are now working with them to start, putting the bones of the organization together as a partnership. So there'll be more news coming, and we're going to keep you guys updated all the time. But I think it's an exciting opportunity for one new thing in our mission, and we can enhance that education component that we have as one of the pillars of our mission statement.
Well, you know what? Can you tell us exactly what is the new mission statement?
So we have a new mission statement, and I'm going to read it word for word. Well, let me tell you about our vision. For all scleroderma patients to receive an accurate and timely diagnosis and access to care and support for those who require it until we find a cure to end scleroderma. And our updated mission statement: we empower the scleroderma community to live better lives through programs dedicated to support, education, and research. There's not a big difference in the pillars of what we do in our mission, but going forward, you will see changes coming because we're working under our mission statement from that was with national. But as we transition into this next phase and moving forward, you'll see changes. You'll see changes with all of us joining together to build a bigger national organization, and we really are excited about this opportunity.
What do these changes mean for the organization, our volunteers, the staff, and the communities we serve?
Well, no change. There'll be no change in what we do in the communities we've been serving since 1980. In fact, the good part about this is under our chapter agreement, we were not permitted to go outside of Southern California. So, when someone would call from Northern California or even Arizona, where there's no chapter, or Nevada, where there's no chapter, we were not able to assist them. We had to refer them to the national organization. We don't have to do that anymore. And we have a great patient service director, Tina Berger, who you see on the show here with me today, who gets calls from all around. And, it breaks her heart that she can't help them. She has to refer them to somebody else. And having people in the communities that we serve is important to the communities we serve. So I think it's in terms of how does it affect the people that we serve, it's going to get better. I mean, because we're now able to put more money into our programs, because some of the money that we sent to national every year is now going to be reinvested back into our programs. And so we've already increased our support groups. We have a couple of new support groups, and all of that has happened in less than a month.
Mentioning the support groups, a lot of people had questions like, what's new on the website? Tina, I think you're probably the best person to answer that one.
Well, Andrew worked really hard on getting that website together, and I was very proud of those efforts. And what I'm excited about is that we have this opportunity to put things on our website that we never did before. And one of them I'm really excited about is resources. And there are so many people out there that we can collaborate with, partner with, work with, refer to, that can help our patients and families to have a better experience navigating through living with scleroderma. And so we will have a resource page dedicated to these different opportunities, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's um, different programs for clinical research. And that's another thing. We plan on having a page dedicated to clinical research. So all the research studies that are going on for California, Chicago, and the areas that Chicago serves, the areas that DC serves, and making sure that people know about them, but also some of the ethics behind it, making sure that people are educated very well on what it takes to participate in a clinical trial, what to look for when participating in a clinical trial. And then we're going to have a page dedicated to different categories of the diagnosis, understanding it, the different facets of the disease, maybe the mental health parts of it, understanding the clinical trial. So you'll be able to click on these different videos, as well as a much more detailed page for our support groups. So those are just some of the things, and we're welcoming our support group leaders that are very pivotal in this transition to give us other thoughts that we might want to bring to the forefront that will add to our page. So those are things, some of the things that we're going to do that we're really excited about.
That's great. Thank you, Tina. Also, what happens to the membership now? You know, I mean, I know I'm a member of the national, but now that you are you know, this organization is separate, what happens to the membership?
So the membership that people have paid and supported the national organization, that will continue, and people, we hope, will continue to be members, and if they choose to do so. We also hope that they'll support us here in California. Supporting your community here where we are is going to be important, and we hope that people will. We have not put together the bones of a membership program, or how we are going to refer to our people that we work with, whether they're you know, were they going to be family, are they going to be friends, are they going to be members? That's something that will come once we put together the strategic plan, and which will be implemented beginning 2023. And so, you know, like I said, there's a lot of good things that are going to be happening, and as we grow, there are some things that we are going to have to work hard to make sure people know where we are. We're not on the national website anymore, and that's you know, quite frankly, that's where somebody's been going for ever since the internet's been around. So we have to educate and hopefully make sure that people know where we are, so that they can find us. And you know, again, I think the great thing is that we've had 34 years of building relationships, and actually it's 42 years. I'm shortchanging ourselves, because if we go back to 1980 and start talking about 1980, that's 42 years. So it's membership will continue to be something that National has. Whether we will do that in the future, I do want to say that everyone is welcome here, and we want people to know, if you need support, we don't, if you live somewhere else, call us. Tina is one of the most amazing people to help connect people to the right services and resources that people need. She takes her time, and you personally talk to her. She's passionate. She knows this disease, and you know, she's just such a wonderful asset to the organization, and we're so glad that we have her, because without her, we would not be able to provide this kind of service to our community. So we're here for everyone. And so when we talk about members, everyone, we're an inclusive group for the scleroderma community and anyone who is affected by this disease.
Thank you. What about the national conference, or
This question
scholarship?
must have come from the support groups too. You know, the scholarships to the national conference are important. The national conference is the largest scleroderma conference in the world, and it's a great conference. And so what I can say is that I think they'll have two opportunities now to write out scholarships. We will be awarding some scholarships and covering the cost for people to go to the conference when they get back to having a live conference, hopefully next year. And they will be able to do it through national. So they have two chances now at possibly being accepted to the scholarship to the national conference. We will have a presence at the national conference. We work in the field together, and again, we will continue to work with our friends at the National Scleroderma Foundation until this disease is done and we no longer need to work together.
Will the foundation continue to do advocacy?
So when we look at the word advocacy, it means many different things. We are all advocates of this disease. And so how you advocate and how advocacy is defined is quite different. So what I will say, we will always be advocates of this disease. Some of the advocacy work that is done by the national organization is great, and we will support efforts that we can. I think what I do have to say is that right now, we need to focus on the communities that we're serving. And so if we were to do something at the national and state level, I would like that to be volunteer driven and supported by staff here at the foundation. But, national does a good job with the advocacy. We don't have the bandwidth right now. However, if we have the volunteers who can help us and put this together, we will support that.
Well, that's a good thing to know. Where does where does my donation go now?
Your donation goes to a lot of the same things that you remember in our mission statement, which is our support, our outreach, advocacy, and research. And I'll never forget when Andrew and I were going around to all of our support groups and we were talking to our members about donations. Somebody wrote in on our survey that they felt that all of the money should go towards research, and isn't that the thing that isn't that the main cause of what we're looking for? And with my background, I've been in this field for 32 years and worked in research for 19 years, and we have made leaps and bounds in research, but we haven't gotten to that cure yet. We've come a long way, but it's really important that our money goes towards supporting our families that we serve. And that is through our outreach, that is through our support, that is through our education, our advocacy, helping our families be educated to the point of holding their doctors accountable to a standard, especially when they don't get to see somebody that specializes in scleroderma, letting them meet others living with the disease and being able to have hope at the end of the day. So it makes me proud to know that while some of our money will be going towards research, we will also be making sure that our families are supported to the highest degree in the other areas where we're going to serve them.
Where's the best place to make a donation?
You can make a donation directly to our office by mail if you wanted to write a check. And that's on our website at 8929 South Sepulveda Boulevard in Los Angeles. And it's suite number 412. And that's 90045. You can also go online to make the donation and use your credit card. And or you can even call the office, 424-227-6475.
So there's a donation page on the website that I can go to and just put in my information?
Yeah, we've been working on developing it so they can click right on it and make the donation. And I still think we're in the process, but I believe that that should be ready probably this week.
Great to know.
Andrew, yes.
Now, Andrew, I know that you wanted to cover some points on COVID-19. If you want to expand on that right now, that would be good.
So we've all been through a lot the past 2 years with COVID-19. Our community has been affected more than others. And we are focused now on getting our communities back together, doing events, and also starting live support group meetings. It's been a really hard time. And one of the things that I like best about my job is getting out and meeting all the people that come to our events, go to our support group meetings. So I'm really looking forward at getting things back to where we can gather and get together and share our stories and be a community. So we're looking forward to it. COVID and Zoom did bring us some good new opportunities. In Zoom, we've all learned now how to work within the Zoom world. And we'll always have a component now where people can come online and it doesn't have to be in person. but it gives us that option. And I know that we're just really excited about starting everything up. In order to do that on the event side, I'm excited to announce our newest employee, Sheryl Bishop, as our new community liaison. Now, many of you may know Sheryl. She's been with the organization for a number of years as a volunteer, and she has done some amazing things. Haven't you, Sheryl? Tell us about some of the things you've done for the foundation, because the work that you've done is incredible, and we are so happy to have you as an employee.
Well, thank you. And thank you for inviting me. And I'm excited to start this new adventure journey with you guys. I started volunteering. Actually, I had a poker party in 2014 and we raised $4,000. My dad and I actually put it together, raffles and everything. And then from then on, I started realizing that my hometown that I grew up in Montebello, there was a lot of people who had scleroderma for such a rare disease. So I thought, what could I do? I wanted to volunteer. I wanted to help create awareness, and nobody would wanted to do anything. I called Huntington Beach, and they offered to donate a Surrey bike, which is the 4-passenger bicycle that you ride. And come to find out, his friend's wife had scleroderma, so he was on board to help create awareness. The chamber of Montebello had it delivered to Montebello and returned for us, so we didn't even have to do that. We decorated it with a little disco ball and signs, and my family and friends and another scleroderma warrior, Cy. We got in and we pedaled down Montebello Boulevard, and we actually won first prize. I don't even know the category. And then, like I said, we got the electronic sign at Quiet Cannon.
We're very happy to have you be part of the organization. And here's the trophy she won in the parade that she did for us.
That was so
And
fun.
What are
I
you?
know that
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are you doing with the trophy? How did
I
you
just
end
was
up with
showing
the
it.
trophy?
She had
Did you
talked
steal
about
her
Oh,
trophy?
because of foundation.
she left
I
it in
gave
the
it to
office.
her. It's not mine. It's not mine.
Well,
I
it
did it
is.
for
It's
the
your work.
foundation.
It is your work. This is
Okay. But
I
you
accept
earned
on
it.
her behalf.
Okay.
I accept on Cheryl's behalf. Um,
So we've covered a lot of ground here, but is there anything else you want to share with your audience, because they're going to be watching this to get the updates on the organization? Is there anything that you want to share at this time?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody knows we're going to work very hard to make this transition as easy and as hassle free. We don't want people not knowing where we are. So I'm going to ask everyone to get the word out there. Let people know where they can find us, myscleroderma.org. It is going to be our community where you can find out about our support groups and what's going on in our activities, fundraising, building awareness. Um, you know, it's been a difficult year, a couple of years for many reasons, and not only the COVID, but also with going through a transition. We will keep you updated, and I want to assure you that we have a very strong board here in California, and the driving force again for this separation from national is that our board truly felt that our communities need to have people here in the community and serve them at the community level. So I would like to say, with our strong board and the support of everybody out there in our community, we are going to be a great organization that supports communities that need support. And I thank everybody. And, I've always used the word together. Together, we will get through this and we will be great. And we're just very grateful for all the relationships that we've built over the years. And, I'm looking forward to what's ahead, even though there's going to be some bumps in the road. And, I would appreciate feedback, comments. Let us know. We're doing this for you, and we want to build a community for you. And we now have opportunities that we can do things that we might not have been able to do. So reach out to us. let us know how we're doing, say hello, and be a part of our community.
We've had people call the office. I've had emails come in. I've had personal conversations with some of our families. Andrew's had some personal conversations. And if anybody has, the desire to learn more on a one-on-one, we're more than happy to continue to have those conversations to explain, some of the changes that are going on that might not be that not everybody can wrap their mind around, and to just remember that our heart and soul is into what we do. We love serving the community of scleroderma. We have met so many amazing families that have brought us inspiration, and we want to continue to be able to do that. That's what we're here for everybody to live their best self with scleroderma, and we're going to make sure that we're here to support that every step of the way.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Sheryl. Thank you for taking your time to explain everything to us. Thank everybody for listening. If you'd like to know more about these exciting changes taking place, feel free to contact via email or phone call. Contact the foundation. Check the website out. There's a huge amount of information on there, and we'll be updating it as we speak and as we proceed ahead.
And thank you to you, Anna, and your team for inviting us to the studio and being a part of our podcast. We're really looking forward to moving forward in our community. And again, thank you, everyone, for supporting us. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you.